Because you smoke harm, you feel fine, you feel high smoking. Then get some other brand of this jamba, maybe the India, then Pakistan, then Afghanistan side. We're 100 times more potent than with Salon jamba. Then they call Kush. But what's happening now in a salon? They get an artificial form of this Kusha within the bring canal, then mix canal, then get all kind of active ingredients then within the put into it. We will make this year so even more potent, even more deadly, even more dangerous. So we get now the Ministry of Health, we get the hospital and clinical services. We also get the pharmacy board. The pharmacy board, they go collect, sample them of this Kush within the cell around. They analyze and sample it. Then sample it, you not only get that synthetic potent drug inside it, then they mix up with all kind of other dangerous tablets and pills and medicine in the country. Medicine for we people that eat the toll, medicine for heart business, medicine for the lungs, medicine where they can buy in a pharmacy for other sickness. Then they take all the mixer inside this potent drug here. The end result of this now, when you take this medicine, it damages all your different organs. So like I'm listening to that video, you heart now, you know, everybody who hearts is on the pump for the past 20, 30 years, it gets some reading or whatever, you know. If you go put this chemical panel, the heart they mix up. Yeah? The heart when you have the pump, it push the blood, it is suck come back. It push the blood, it is suck come back. Now make it go boom, 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 boom. Yeah. But where this medicine don't go, where this drug don't go inside now, they had the pump push, and then we can pull them back. So the blood will don't go down and foot, whatever don't go down and foot, and then we can come back up again in the left leg. What's not happening? The foot they swell. Your kidney, where can manage all the plumbing system inside your body, this drug, it will damage them. So your kidney not function again better. All your vital organs inside the body, it will damage them. So it gets, it not be as effective again. But the worst part, it will go inside the brain, we get a problem. We get a problem where we all will come together and solve. And I want people that will know, say the Ministry of Health, we will take care of the health component of it. We could do everything we can for proper diagnosis. We'll do everything we can for offer appropriate treatment. We'll make sure so we get appropriate care. But all of this is only possible if we stop the importation, we stop the infusion, we stop the serious government, we say for deal with this, you get for do 360, end to end. Everybody need to come together, and you can count on the Ministry of Health for the support. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Honorable Minister. Most important message is we need to stop even before you start. Don't do it. At the first one, the prevention will all landing. But as I say, from the Ministry of Health, and they think about every single step, and I'm not saying this now, one of the big scientists there, they go and do this the right way. I want to talk to my colleague with a young man. All man will not give testimony and youth. All the people with this issue, they affect the most young people. Mr. Oman, you're doing on social media, you talk about this issue, you engage on this issue. I want to make yourself come and talk about within the Ministry of Youth, the mobilization when you do at the community level. I just want to say that we get all the youth council chairmen from all across the country. We invite them, they're all there, we welcome them, we tell them what they do, and we tell the partners and thank you who's supposed to make it possible. So Minister, come on board in 4 minutes. I know you're very passionate about this issue. I know saying that one will always tell me, say, for what is this conversation, not just about Kush, what are harmful substances? Your turn.
Thank you very much. minute of silence for the young people who we don't lost under this current pandemic. May the souls we love one them and all our souls in perfect peace. We don't have a young person as alone. A young person as alone, as somebody when they born either 5 years before the war end or 5 years after the war. 20 years today, when the war end, you realize say, if you add 35 years, everybody living below 35 years, 30 to 35 years, see celebration for kill. When you look at the TRC report, they tell you the amount of young people, minors at the age of 10, 12, 13, 14, will participate during the war. When you look at the warlords, the one who participate during the war, they pick them when they born, and when they come out, they pick them when they come born back. And then successfully in the society, what we do with them. The mistake starts from all the way to the disarmament process. In your view. Then disarm the young people and they physically, but they never ever disarm them mentally. And then today, as a society, we get a prize when we pay for that. Anybody who don't shoot and kill, or what way the brother, don't they who say things like that happen. Trust me, you get some mental illness, you go through depression, and not to command them in spirits. You even become in some are not able to do again. You don't know if your mother in the war, you get Ebola, you get mudslides. You will see like, what am I looking for? I don't take something for them to get past and all. But that notwithstanding, when His Excellency the President blessed me for serving young people in this country, we get one of the most consultative and one of the most participative youth policy ever. And one of the things that we stand out clearly out of the 5 pillars are drugs and substance abuse. The youth policy 2020 to 2025 spelled out clearly. Say drugs and substance abuse are one big challenge for young people in the face of this country. The reason why I want to limit them to push, as Siba said, because so many drugs said. When I remember the days of Pampas scam, he hit, but the Minister of Health at that time, and kudos to the media at that time, the dynamics, the messaging, when we send to young people, they really key. I remember vividly a media house, they showed the process how they use stuff. I got to watch column. I said, that will be the message. The message will be the danger when they take Pampas. And when, during this policy, when something like this was established, we go to call the Youth Council. 191 children, village youth leaders vote for the children youth leaders. And the children youth leaders voted for the district youth leaders, come to the national youth leaders, youth council. And thanks to UNDP, every children youth leader get brand new Excel since 2020, who discover say, most of the problems then get to be, the solution get to be community owned. Brand new Excel, 191 children youth leaders. And just say we give them the money. And because of those structures, and we believe say solving a problem of this nature, again from this home, we get to vote for play as a government. We get their structures and let's set, like Siba explained, we get the district leaders, they ensure say no government from who begin democracy in this country, not ever engage young people and engage these governments, we will engage young people. This is the only government where bring the presidency, all development partners, all youth leaders, Namabuka, the right honorable vice president, begin the day for talk on the issues and this is another manifestation we should say we care. One thing we do at this one today, salute to the worst country on drugs and substance abuse. But because we get a current government, we care about each and every young person, make the presidency, young people who all make sure say every life very important. Today we get excessive, another drug we care. We get morning, another one. We get crack, another one. Kush just show. But since 2020, drugs and substance abuse have been a challenge. As a ministry, we don't always engage every children When you communicate to the 16 district chief leader, when they go, when I get 10 chiefdoms, they call the children youth leaders, they spread the message. The children youth leaders, they go talk to the village youth leaders. Now one of the ways that I know don't they spread the message. And as of now, we don't able to know within really the level where this thing is. In the sense, thanks to the World Bank, they do a status of youth reports where they show you exactly the position of young people. What thing they happen at Kabbalah, what thing they happen at Kweladugu, what thing they happen, and here you can say World Bank don't support, don't get a consortium of a certain Sierra Leone, international consultants, so that we'll get a document where we'll really show you say that this exactly happened. The ministry stands very strong for ensure say they advocate and develop programs for every young person. If you say, due to what you go through, due to the challenges you go through, you decide to go give your life to drugs or kill yourself, I mean, that one is not good. We they ask that we all get to go for prayer as a government, like this we don't do. We also the actual development partners then, although they join hand. I remember vividly, 1 year ago, most of these development partners, including the American Ambassador of predecessor, I meet them 2 years ago say, this is a challenge. When somebody take Kush, they don't know whether my president in convoy they can, or my American Ambassador in convoy they can, whosoever. Let me allow for youth-led organizations at grassroots level, may they steer the affairs of talking to their colleagues about change. The government don't do you, the partners they do you, but I'll tell you what, Mr. Lee not different from most of Manaya. The path to success we can do, we parents can do the young, development partner do the young, government do the young, but the bulk of it rests on you as an individual for ensure say you succeed. And the passion for succeed, no matter what, forget in you. No politician, the parents or partner will change his story, you forget the willingness. We all go through so many times. I'm 6 nobody never take care of me. I ensure say, even inside markets are so good go, I sleep late. But I don't ever take God because I keep an eye on the ball and ensure say, I don't say the day will come. I don't know how many people always listen. One day the time will come like CJ.
You want to sing that for me?
One day the time will come. We will call CJ for that singer. So in all of this, I ask every young person say, no matter how tough, perseverance, endure, self-esteem, is really key. No matter what, Simon a very nice place. We brothers and sisters and what they go through overseas. Work 12 hours, 14 hours. If my nephew say the sharp, trust me, they get 40,000 per day. And now, there is a huge financial pressure on young people. Last week had 5,000 years.
The price of Kush.
You know, the price is high. That tells you the government, due to the pressure we put in their residents, will follow the market.
Yes.
Because another person tell me we definitely get for no. However, they conclude by asking that we the young people for ensure say, when you save, ensure say you talk to 1 or 2 people change their own story so that the story will continue, Sierra Leone will be a better place.
Thank you very much, Minister. So, by the way, when I get more chances for ask questions and interact with them, let me just do the opening, the young force interventions there. But I have to tell the Minister of Youth, thank you. Like you see, I'm very passionate and they lead by example by your personal story. I can't put the Minister of Example first on the spot because it's a law enforcement issue. A lot of the criticisms we don't get are questions around law enforcement. Say, okay, what we don't do? Who don't arrest? People then say they don't provide tips. Say, what we don't do with that tip we don't provide. We get a very distinguished panel here. We can answer the question. Minister Major General Talova, please come forward because I also get to your presentation. We don't forgive people the number. So family want to assure them as Internal Affairs Minister of the steps they will take. And I don't say IG safety and say for the campus on the spot. But you go first, you get 4 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Vice President, colleague ministers, ambassadors, good afternoon. Like the Minister of Youth said, he said it was scarce because the supply chain on the port. And
is very, very serious. When we begin cut off it, when you get an animatic, you will fair other things for them. Yes. Not to easy fights, but first of all, we get to thank everybody in Sierra Leone. Because Kush fights not to government no more, police or soldier. Kush fight now, everybody fight, now community fight, now community led. And the Freetown, Sierra Leone, the entire community, Kono, Kenema, East, West, North and South, they really contribute and they really make efforts for them to do something with this right now. Because this thing, if they don't take me up too seriously, sometimes you feel embarrassed as a Sierra Leonean. For say, Kush don't take over your country, you never do nothing. It was very embarrassing. But when the entire country come together, youth begin there, everybody they call, everybody they show silent day, we run to meet them. We find out for say, when we work together, the work they easy. Government is set up a task force. The government task force. Now the vice president is trying to make a national task force where everybody go involved. But this government task force, a very unfortunate, I can't let Minister Siba say, and not make out my computer quick so that the flash with data. When we don't get a super on push. That is from January to March. The total of convicted cases so we don't get. When they convict person, not only you when they bring the material come, but you say when they sell it. Sometimes, elect you don't sell it, but you get to you give bump in one. Will they charge you go cost? If you get to you give bump in one, they let you give for nothing, will they charge you go cost? Nobody not supposed to pass out. You're not supposed to pass out at all. We're not going to flash out now the presentation, now the thing, but I will give you now a brief rundown of the case the whole long gets so far. We get a total of 296 people that we did, so non-convicted, so they didn't remind for drug. And the way the vice president said, nobody know they bail you. No matter what. Nobody know they bail you. Whether you bring the raw material come for make am, whether you make an aya, whether you bring a come for sell, whether you they sell them, whether you don't sell as if you pass and give other person, when we investigate you, will they charge you go court? And secondly, you when they use your facility for when they decide for small push, you self they go court. Now this drastic step we don't take from January. The battle will be really hot between January and February, to be very honest with you. But now, the report we got last week, very amazing that now only 20 cases we get. Now the list we don't get so far, so which means we don't go above the thing, but it not mean so for drop of gas. We get to fight on. It is very, very serious. When we form the national task force, where everybody go there, we will give a toll-free line for letting the call and make sure for saying you give a proper direction of how we will get there. But we don't really try as a nation, including you, the civilians. For us get 20, now the list we don't get. If I take the paper there, I'll show you the statistics. Some weeks ago, they get 80, 90, 100 cases across the country. But last week at 20. But that don't mean so for drop of gas. That means
Minister, sorry, we say 80, 90, 100 cases. Cases of, I just want to be specific, people the way we arrest based on intelligence we get.
We can get intelligence. Sometimes we get intelligence past that. But the one that will they arrest, will they confirm, the victims and the dealers. Sometimes we get 80, but for last week, we get a considerable drop. it's like the effect don't intensify. And I make the Minister of Youth say the thing don't scarce.
The price don't go.
The price don't go up because now the chain, that is the main effort right now. We get to cut that chain of supply. If we not cut that chain of supply, we begin and not safe. See, I don't get no future. We must preserve the next generation.
So, Minister, before you go take your seat, I want to assure the people that as Internal Affairs Minister of the same way the Honorable Vice President just made that assurance, and also in a general, about your commitment to this fact and waiting will they do together for deal with this, and then what they call the IG for come forward.
The commitment will not get quality. It won't qualify. Whatever you know say you go do for save the next generation, you get for one. Me, I get sleepless nights. Most times you go lay down and then till you sleep, somebody call you say, we don't see they don't make one per fire and you get for what you allow the police and you wait for a result. Like when one people they ask me say, if not the same police will they get, I say yes, not the same police. They say why they don't change so now, they do so great things now. Now I say because they're not ready for defense Sierra not proper. Lord, we clap for the Sierra police.
Alright. An excellent note followed by the IG for Cameroon. I don't clap for the Minister of Internal Affairs. IG, I want you to write as you minister to take your seat. I want you to go forward. And me and you now back and forth I want to do. And not just one speech. I want to exchange. But I'm not clap for the IG. And I want to get arrest my own life. Clap for the IG IG Fire Cell. IG, I want first of all, thank you for your leadership on this issue. You don't go parliament, and after you, they cancel the parliament here in a minute. Plenty of the conversation online, now whether they act on tips, which one they do, they make a picture. Talk about the operations they all are put in place for particularly disrupt the supply of harmful drugs that we continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Honorable Vice President, Article because we are Ministers of Government, Front Estate, everybody, really has good afternoon. We police, we sit down now the criminal justice system. You get three parts. You get the law enforcement, you get the courts, you get the detention facilities. What did happen in this country? So Kush issue not 100% big, but this is the first country I think we don't take such a bold step for call this kind of big Townhall meeting. For not and think how we get over this particular menace without blaming society. What we have seen so far, government don't take a very bold step for strengthening this criminal justice system. The way the Honorable Vice President talk, we engaged the Minister of Justice, Attorney General. We get two laws for your breaks. The Pharmacy Act of 2001 and the National Drug Control Act 2008. The second law we last mentioned, the National Drug Control Act 2008, are very powerful and very powerful. It make provision for life imprisonment. It make provision for seizure of property. The least number of years you go in Nigeria, they charge you under any of them acts, then sections of law under that act. Now 3-4 years you go. And I have to tell the Vice President, thank you for that bold step with it. We ginger the criminal justice system. Now, with the secure convictions, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and more. I have to use this movement for encourage the Attorney General and Minister of Justice to talk to the magistrate. For when they push out, they go and push us. The other good component of this effort of government are that the government rehabilitation center. Just after election, we begin to think around this one, but the events of November 26th, night is from the whole program. So now government does set up a rehab center, and the last part of the criminal justice system, like rehabilitation, you don't only detain persons, but they become a life support skills at the center. So that's what government is doing. And we offer good government, kudos. So basically, as police, what we don't do so far, we don't step up the operations. As the minister rightly said, we realize a lot of stuff that happen around. I also went, no, let us do something about it. We don't do something. Like when the Vice President report, as I talk so, they don't search 140 feet, we then pull 99 packets of that marshmallow. The possible Seneca in this country, the one who not Rukabu from Holland. The 7 people we go for one receiver, they did our custody, we look at them. They want to be allowed for church and we go look at them seriously. And again, the Vice President impressed upon we as police and also the justice system that anybody will engage and push business. You want to get bail and police, you want to get bail and court. As I talk so, without hesitation, I have foreseen today 3 policemen have gone out for Kush. They're not in our custody for the past 1 week. 1 prison officer at the local will catch up in the traffic, the Kush inside the correctional center. They will get 1 military man inside in a talking for court for the same Kush. So that tells you, in this fight against Kush, there is no sacred cow. There is no sacred cow. We don't talk and say, we don't clap for the engine.
And no sacred cow, no so.
This effort to also don't talk and say, let me blood brother, they catch up and push. There is no way I'm going to interfere. I say no, not left out because I'm going, it's bad. So that are the effort government don't make, longer term things are running. I want to use this moment also for thank members of the public, media people, community people, for the support when I show to the Leone police in the fight against Kush this particular time around. And the first time is I see people really come up, like when the minister say, they don't short it because of that support, who will agree. We police, we're very conscious of the number, we are small. We cannot be everywhere all the time. I mean, they told the restructure of the police in 1999, we introduced one component called community policing. He said, one day, every division in this country, 38 divisions now, we get to local policing partnership on them. Those ones are supposed to be supporting the police for giving them information about those locations. Anybody today tell me, say, Yanda, push the they say push the. Tomorrow I go there, if you go to that place, they operate today, they are sure. So I have to use this movement for say, yes, we continue for relying on our support, and I continue for moving support, for make sure say we achieve, we succeed in the fight against this particular drug we don't know our country. This is a big effort, everybody coming together. So the end-to-end approach with the Vice President talk about, we from the police side, we are part of that end-to-end approach. We don't take the first positive steps. With a raid, a day and that is continuous. I don't tax every NEC. We get to do a special team with the raid across the western area. If I go there in division, I go conduct raid in one particular outlet, who's selling the sell drugs, and they change it immediately. It means you are sabotage you there. And they go back in our division where they know the two support the effort. That's how strong the position we have taken. And in addition to the zero tolerance policy we get for drugs as well, police. We get you with one. We not only dismiss you with discipline, but we charge you criminally. We get some colleague them up until November 26th every day for 10 months, 12 months, 6 months, 8 months, just because we catch them with drugs, cannabis particularly. Not only push to the focus on every substance whether they are used. So, Mr. Silva, so far, this is what police have done, supported by the Police Council Chairman, the Honorable Vice.
A very distinguished Inspector General of the platform. In order to always, I can tell people that say, don't change no, and IGNs not be as they talk, say, young policeman them, he take responsibility, they give you the number, we don't know, they say they catch some of them, and they don't arrest them. And in custody, and that's the commitment we get absolute. But you also tell thank you to the most important people in this fight. We, the public, we not clap for yourself. All the social media people there, I get one big brother there, we a big social media posted on this issue, they call it Black Coffee. Most of the original video they will begin see on Kush. This man, when they go out, they explain. So this community who go only do, we can talk to her. But before we can, the way normally we work, the police they do the first look, and then they come to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, follow them prosecute. AG, I want to get the podium. Now let's clap for the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the very learned comrade of the American Club as well by the comrade of the team. So give me updates on prosecutions. And then we can call the member of the judiciary, the family and the courts, Justice Momoja Stevens, because another challenge is whether then they give the exact amount of sentences that we want to see once show really stringent action on this. But first from you, the learned AG, give me updates on how una dey in terms of prosecution, una your approach, like how the IGP does now.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The Vice President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And we always say this, before now, drugs are a menace. The abuse of drugs don't become a menace to society. With the introduction of Kush, where you don't get any brand, now a cocktail of everything coming together for make Kush, don't make society more dangerous for we young brothers and sisters picking up to go school. So it's difficult for we parents now, because I can tell people and say, not say no happen to you, or say no happen to you, no happen to you, say no happen to me. What begin and go school, we don't get control over them. We get the faith and confidence for left them to the teachers and in the school, for run them over for that period. But again, up to that period, anything can happen. But however, we know we still say because we don't get control over we picking them, the brothers who all day out, because we don't get control over the action. The government currently, since the first inning, or before the first inning of His Excellency the President, to now, they don't take push or abuse of substance very, very serious. Every day, like when we study for exams, when you want pass a level and you get from lecture, say you read your notes every day up to exam time. So that's why government don't take this abuse of substance very serious. Every day when they go over with game plan for ensure say they're not back foot to it or will not take the wrong step, because one step for eliminate them. On the part of the government, when the police they do their arrest, initially we get some small difficulty with two types of laws: the pharmacy law, the IG just reference, and the National Drugs Act, we again a reference. Most times, when case them go court, for the most period, now the pharmacies act in charge, and for the judiciary, the bench has their own parents, and most of the people who will go court. Now, we just them school picking them or them peddlers that are this also picking them. So the bench will always use a human compassion for look at them either a charge, a convict, a acquit, a discharge, or a fine. Convict in the sense if they sentence you, you go serve jail time, or they can sentence you again, you pay fine, or they acquit and discharge you, ban you over peace. Because what now the system in the court, if you ban over a piece, you don't get system for monitoring. I can go back and go and do the can again. Though the police will pick that up when they can court. But however, as part of the game plan now, we don't decide, say, due to you where they take or where they sniff or where they drink or smoke, now we issue. Now you will be and come to the county. You will not forget God. Brand come at the country, and you see money in good sign on it, but you want federal good sign by the money. Or can make 10 people and die more at the country. Decide for good works, and maybe cocktail with what a man will, pedestrian leaf, cassava leaf, in any kind of form. Use value, use any kind of thing for make people that lost their senses. We decide now for charging any matter we can out to be going forward, we don't start. Now for charge under the National Drugs Enforcement Act. Now the penalty is unlike the Pharmacies Act, because the minimum any individual can go for every magistrate or the judge. In fact, not to magistrate, a judge is trial. Magistrate can just begin look at the evidence, whatever little evidence, they still go high court. If they convict you, the minimum you go for is only for you 5 years. That's the minimum. It can go to life imprisonment. The bench get the power again for selling both for life imprisonment and you pay fine. So they give the double dose for the loss of senses. The court can also give double dose. You pay fine and you go custodian, you serve custodian time. So normally they go on. Up to till when it's also we don't charge 16 people. The bed like the importers are really around. So we don't even charge 16 people. Whether they will get bail or get bail now based on the nature of the evidence so they go before the court. And we as government lawyers they ensure say once we put the evidence together, we give an opinion, say they will charge you. Will they really charge you? When they charge you simply, which home team they charge you goes to molecule, but once we charge you say we get substantial evidence, not even reasonable, but substantial evidence for ensure and secure conviction. So for the matter they only court, you want to all we don't in charge, we don't with, and the Pharmacies Act, we don't know what we want to do. But going forward, because of the proliferation and seriousness of our, we say not take a different dimension, take a new tone. We all go after we say
So age limit and the minimum sentence under the new approach?
5 years.
So under the old approach, they give for just a few months.
Yeah, just a few months.
But this new approach now a minimum of 5 years.
Again, a minimum of 5 years. Again, just one minute very public know. And then my own term of years, a different from normal fiscal year, you know, was 1 year and 12 months. But then I want to get your calculation. So with different strategy now, we say 5 years and 5 years. With the content, they can't give the content now.
So 5 for the 5.
That's what we content now. They say, we don't need time for threatening anybody. We don't have people that don't say yes. Government, they on top of the situation. Government, they don't impact. And government want to ensure, say, the human capital who we want to build on, we continue for build on nowadays. Because we get a very, very, very small and young population. We don't allow any few individuals because of personal gain and greed can destroy the whole nation. Mr. Moderator, based on that, I think say we as government possibilities, government lawyers say we desperate, we try for law, and again we try for repeal the laws. So not only that we go by the National Drugs Act, if we see it, we try for look at it again for symptoms more severe. Look with add panel. Because they say we put on add on the paper, on for them a sweet, and for them a boku. So if we go minimum 5 years, we see scenario too small up to life imprisonment. Any other way they give for local do and more for continue for upgrade the laws, we will do it.
Thank you very much. My Lord, please ask together for the honorable Mr. Justice. I want for call since we are in courts. Justice Babaja Stevens, please come. Like Justice of the Appeals Court. So I want to clap for the Justice of the Appeals Court of Salome. I spoke to the Chief Justice directly. I asked in the one following the conversation of Parliament. Part of waiting parliamentarians they ask, and we come to with 2 leaders in this now. And at some time in the IG they do the work, AG do the work, then they come to the court. Me and I say I come from activist background, me and the courts don't say but the courts they don't never follow the law. The CJ in commitment, the Honorable Chief Justice, is that we want to take this issue very serious. And even though we on a short notice, he decided to send a very distinguished senior member of the bench for Kaya. I want to let you talk to family about your commitment and what you want to do for every for winning this event.
Thank you very much, Minister, the Honorable Vice President, and all other protocols we observe in our cases. I would like to give a brief background to the judiciary, probably in a minute. The judiciary is the third arm of the government. The duty of the judiciary not to make law. We apply the laws of the land. We interpret the law and we punish law breakers. That is the function of the judiciary. The judiciary is an institution for every Sierra Leonean. Every Sierra Leonean, without fear or favor. That's for them and with background at all times. No free for going to the court. The court is accessible to one. And when you go there, get it at the back of your mind, say, you get rights to justice. The perception can always be, so waiting at the go do yonder, not get that imagination there. If not criminal matter you get, they will say you lost that criminal matter there, you get 21 days for appeal. For example, if the matter in a high court, you get 21 days right of appeal if you lost your appeal. if na civil matter you get, then you have full-blown 3 months for challenge that. This is just a brief example where I give about the operation and activities of the judiciary of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now, the topic under review, we get to deal with Kush. We get law with the Office of the Attorney General get a responsibility for advice the detectives or the constable for charge. We don't get no hands in that preparation stage. But once the matter don't come out before we seize of jurisdiction, get a jurisdiction for hear and determine that matter dispassionately. But the Constitution of Sierra Leone states 2 important things there. One of the things that we state, we therefore look at public interest. We have issues that deals with public interest. And one of them, now this Kush. The Constitution of Sierra Leone also states, you get what they call presumption of innocence. That you don't charge you, then bring you before they will say you are guilty. No. Inasmuch as we sensitive to the issues, because we are all human beings, and we are parents, for example, we see the revelations just now, wherein somebody when they say they don't even done in university, but in fall back to the situation as a victim to a drug. Now, for me personally, without deciding the fate of any matter here, but me will look at, not that I sympathize with the victim. No, that's not the idea. The idea is, if they are brought before court because they are in possession and the law does not permit you to possess them, then realistically we should abide by the initiative of the Ministry of Social Welfare. For see if we can send them body, then they rehabilitate them. Imagine somebody they would sow food. You cannot take that person to prison like that, because we get a duty to protect life and property equally. But if somebody na the person where they trade in, if somebody na the person where they make money from them, then these people should be the target. The law, in my humble view, must be applied to the fullest against the person where they make money out of it. So that's not the situation. So we in law, we know they talk plenty. Brevity is the soul of wit. So my advice to the Office of the Attorney General, let them bring the cases, the magistrates, they will do the PI, and they will commit the cases to the High Court. Because under the National Law Act, it's very, very serious. Now pay them for the charge. You charge under the policy, then the magistrate gets jurisdiction. But under the National Drugs Act, this case will be no jurisdiction for trial matter. All the magistrates are going to conduct a PI for investigate. And you know they stop and you are duty bound because of the sensitivity of the offense for charge, for indict the person going to High Court. When you indict the going to High Court, then the High Court sees of jurisdiction for hear and determine that matter to the end of the matter. So I thank you for your attention. Via at the bay, make we see if we always pass information to the police, we see anybody they trade in us. Because this will be a community fight. They go fight the Ebola, we destroy the Ebola. They go fight the Ebola, we destroy the Ebola. So we fight we destroy it.
Thank you very much, Leone, Justice Moja Stevens. On a notice, we get somewhere, we get some consensus. They don't agree on how to charge. The kind of the way for is for charge. Now we almost see the bench and the AG and the IG will get consensus with the bill. And again, we they talking together and they are openly. Nobody know the eye. The whole know so we hold ourselves accountable. Now I want to let una already have a phone. Leone begin for every part this conversation now. We can't really pass the mic around. And now they call the podium again. When I get the two political leaders, they already call. And then I can even go now to people and ask them questions. We forget development partners and second for talk. We get some entertainer and second for talk. But you there, we get small technology over use. You can either use the barcode update, or if you get internet on your phone, you go slido.com, SLIDO, slido.com. The one within our host as well, we follow me online and I can do the same thing, we see the same information there. And we code now 4224795 with no space not needed. You don't need any space. So if you go on that app, you get all that question we'll get right now. And we get 3 basic simple questions there for you. Which are the most significant drivers of Kush? We'll never open only type about. The answer that we'll see, which will not say. What you would like for the government do, you type your answer the day. And what you would like communities themselves do for combat Kush. So then 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and 4 out of 4. You go slido.com or use the QR code 4795. You enter that, it will take you there, and while we talk, we get to your voice as well. Parliament, I want to cancel that. Again, the deputy leader of government business, Naya, we brought Honorable Bash, as long as we call you Honorable Bash, as we always call you. But we also get the leader of the APC party and parliament. We, by the way, I want to congratulate if they go to the ECOWAS parliament, I will clap for him as well. Now, another young man, when we talk about the new face of Salo, also just young ministers they will get, even in the opposition, we get young leaders. Look at the 2 leaders of the parliament, very young, distinguished people there. And they ask the opposition for come force. I wonder Honorable Abdul Kabo can and can share why, as a parliamentary leader of the opposition, why this issue is important, and let me make a commitment on behalf of EU party for say we camp on this fence, we really pick party, we really choose winner one. We will clap for the comrade of the organic as well. The comrade Abdul Kabo, I think everyone has quite a regional comrade. Yes.
The Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the Inspector General of Police, the Deputy Leader of Government Business, all ministers of government, please permit me first to know the existing protocol. Firstly, the work of Parliament, according to Section 105 of the Constitution, Parliament is the supreme legislative authority. Parliament is the make law. And whenever we get a national crisis, Parliament will make law for mitigate against the national crisis. And all can agree with me that when we get really rampant, Parliament amend Section 16 of the Sexual Offences Act. We make life imprisonment for anybody we commit sexual penetration. And from then, we see there was a drastic reduction in sexual penetration and rape as a whole. This now other pandemic we don't get in the nation. So Parliament gets a moral obligation. And as God would have it, Section 25 of the National Drug Control Act of 2008 make it clear and give the AG and the Minister of Justice the right for make regulations to a statutory instrument where they take in a parliament will be the pass. Waiting at the essence of the regulations, then they keenly they look at how we will help for simmer down the spread of Kush, the addiction we don't need our own brothers and sisters them. Our parliament they come in for make sure say we help for simmer down waiting they happen. And interestingly, in the policy circle, not to parliament they force. Parliament then at the third stage. The first stage now the agenda setting, where they with the ministers, then when we big one them. Then the other stage, now the agenda formulation, policy formulation, where they with the draftsman them. We, now the policy adoption stage, we did, when we carry on a parliament, then we say law passer. Then after we get the policy implementation stage, where they will police them, they with the judge, you know, and then the court, you know. And we all, they evaluate the policies then at the end of the day. One thing when we always know, when Sierra Leone faced with a moral crisis, we need for put politics aside and come together to make sure that
Thank you, sir.
I remember when women get Ebola. That time the current president was not a president. I remember saying he been toured around the country, you know, for do desensitization. And I remember saying also when women get corona, members of parliament from all the political aisle will come together and make sure say we do the campaign together. And if we get Kush, we don't turn a pandemic now in the country. We all supposed to come together. Because the Kush not the pick who that it go to, whether you're not APCD or whether you're not SLPPD. It will ruin the future generation. The next generation of SLPP they be ruined, the next generation of APC they be ruined. This is the more reason why we need to come together to make sure that we provide solution for fight against this menace. Because they say, if you want to know how your country get for in the future, you get for look at the current status of your youth. Because now the youth they get for take over the country in the near future. So to we the opposition, we are particularly concerned, and we always don't talk say we are not opponents to the development of this nation. We are proponents to the development of this nation. Anything where they tell us before, we will support them. Because we know the SLPP, not to government, we get for it forever. We get for getting power. So we don't want to pull them. We don't want to pull them, we meet the problem where we not able to solve. But lastly, the government also gets a moral obligation for make the opposition know say the fight against Kush not intend for hunt any opposition. Recently, we will see the press release from the Secretary General of the opposition, where states the organizing secretary of the opposition and Guinea, they arrest them for Kush. So the opposition will ask plenty questions, say, how somebody where they Guinea will contribute to Kush where you know they are, or somebody when are the opposition organizing secretary. So we want to appeal to government that not a government no more the wrong country. Now government and opposition the wrong country. Let we the agents, no we the talk. Let there be that communication between we and government. Let we help government for system we first push for make this salon better. Salon to belong to the world. God bless you.
Thank you so much. He says salon big pass me all, not so. And we put salon above all else. I want to tell you thank you for your personal leadership and commitment to this issue and for your fine words there. The only part where I want to put small addendum are the parts where you know say I do everything to make sure say you know can the power in the foreseeable future. And for a democracy, if we try for country the power also, we say the try for keep her out by outperforming. Honorable Bash Siddiqui, by you talk. You know the lead as well in our parliament and many people in Carrefour. I want to talk on behalf of we SLPP in our parliament.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mojoto. I know you talk first that we are talking parliament, the position of part of parliament. Vice President, the opposition leader, diplomats, ladies and gentlemen, I have to wait for this conference. The people are not saying how we are the politicians, we the members of parliament, because we face them again at the ballot papers. So anything will happen, good or bad, now we the crimes, now we the call, because now we the savvy, now we the meet them, now we the campaign to them, and now we the vote for them, we the president. So, as members of parliament, we get 3 core responsibilities. Number 1, for making law. Number 2, for providing oversight on the executive and the judiciary. And number 3, for representing the people. When this push begins, it begins with people that we vote for, and our constituencies begin. The people that anytime we have constituencies, they tell me, say, if we are not fit this, we will not go vote for again. So we members of parliament will be the greatest losers if we not fit this push fit for donor response here. So we don't begin this one long term. We begin the talk as small parliaments, as with the common constituencies, when parliament deal. We get a standing order as a corner SO23 in a personal explanation. We don't explain till we explain till we explain till we still these drugs, they escalate instead of they minimize. So we collectively with the opposition, our the opposition, plenty because they don't with full support and they don't actually say they will continue with full support. So with the opposition, we move a motion for say, as the legislative arm when they provide oversight on the executive and the judiciary, we need to call them for them to explain. So we move a motion, that motion be carried, we invite the IG, we invite the NARI, we invite the court. Because we believe say, it's not possible let drugs stand in this country if it not pass the seaports on our airports. So we call them NARI because they not just collect tax, but they do due diligence on the thing they already collect tax. So things that we're not supposed to come, they're not supposed to collect tax on, and they're not supposed to allow them for Canada country. So we call NARI, we call NDLA boss, we call the police, we call the ports, because we want to know how these drugs come and why we take taxation as a country, why we're supposed to take that one. Then come, they explain to me, I want to tell them all things to the public, they cover full the media, fully covered, and will be a lie. Today we glad for the IG tell me that the courts, they don't hold 2 containers, and they don't hold 7 people who are responsible for the container. I should say that the products of the meeting. We members of parliament, we not just do it against the make law.
Falaba and Karen have been the exemptions and one other one. It's all over the place. What's it happening to those ones who are there? If somebody sees somebody in the cage Kush, the police can't go at every step of the statute of the state. Unfortunately, we not get data, as we supposed to get on who don't die from Kush. If we really get the data from where they start there, when I agree with me, say the figures for them are in the thousands of the one that don't die. But we know they take some. So we are dropping in the dark. What's the response mechanism? Somebody mentioned here, one of the ministers talk about community mobilization. It's fantastic. Now so we end Ebola with the communities taking leadership. Now so we respond to COVID. So let's get the councils, just people don't get APC and SFP in parliament as well. Let's get the councils taking leadership at various districts. Let every district in this country be guided by the central government for taking leadership. When Ebola can the last survey for Nakonadugu, and then resist Ebola the best. So don't make competition now. Let all man respond to the Kush crisis under certain leadership. We're not going to run haphazardly, we're not going to run crudely, we're not going to run by violating people's rights. Central government provide the overarching responsibility, local councils step up, traditional leaders, religious leaders, let me get down to brass tacks. We're not spending a lot of time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll come to you. Exactly what we expect. We make us on the microphone to you. Just to say for the, I don't see you coming a little bit late, but the honorable vice president is now open the podium of the event, and some of which you asked for at the top level, and then they start with. Yeah, the guests who will look at the big picture, how we look at the drivers, which we need for our community engagement. But I'm happy you remind me of that because it's important that we don't forget about the thing that we need for doing. Mr. Kaikai, you are the head of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Mr. Kofana talks of the way really important. He said we look at patterns, data. importation of harmful substances or substances when they use. When they are the capacity we get, when they look at the information and they for say, oh, these men are the drivers, this, or you get plans as part of your agents with team up in front of these fighters. Tell me about the whole way you play and what you want to see, who you don't see it. I'm not saying that we're very passionate about this issue, and you're welcome for coming forward. Round of applause for Mr.
The Honorable Vice President, members of the ministers, everybody here present, will I please allow me to stand on existing protocols. First of all, I want to tell plenty thank you to the Minister of Information. As we can see all over West Africa, and Musa really push those spread, Musa they cause damage. We see a couple of weeks ago, Gambia began a press conference. But like the very first country this inside West Africa and all around for really assemble a meeting like this. So, me as head of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, I can tell you today and the public today that I'm the most happy man right now. Because now, with this assembly of people from all walks of life, not just government, mean to say, Kush, they can do on Asaro. It means to say, we eradicate Kush completely out of this country. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, we owe responsibility from the Constitution, from government, now for provide leadership and for able to coordinate all issues related whether for doing drug use, illicit drugs. That therefore do it from waiting the IG talk, the work of the police, the judiciary, all the way to jail and everything. But one of the most important things where the Minister of Internal Affairs stopped. And Umar Fofana, thank you for the zest and the commitment, even from the tone of your voice. We must cut the supply chain. No other magic knowledge. No other magic knowledge. With all this conversation, we don't get Naya. Naya make us know, and the listen where other speakers they talk, where everybody don't talk. Now there is momentum in this room. There is momentum in the country, all across the country. And we forgot the supply chain. Because Minister, we don't want all the suburbs, all the slums. Then the brother and sister Yahweh should also. Maybe not engage them. No, so. In fact, I mean, here would have gone at the rehabilitation center also. Although that time they would not be happy with me. But now when they look at my face system, the Minister of Social Welfare, Dr. Demi, the Minister of Health, and we always come together. We are a testament to this nation and to the world that you can change, that you can stop. But one of the things they want to always don't tell me any side which side I go. Yes, you go say, like when my brother will talk here this no, you go say, well, they don't want accept responsibility, say that they put the bad drug like they want. But one of the things where they all they talk, all who say I don't go, and to the comrade, who now when they suffer the pain, to the homestead, who now because this thing don't affect everybody. I remember I go to Kupa. It began at 12 years for their college students. And then I Kush grown. And so many others. But one of the things that we for know is that the beginning were involved in this drug. None of them were don't meet. We're not willing for stop. They all want for stop. And they all realize and accept say, what they don't put on them want, it'll kill them, it'll destroy them. But not just only destroy them. Like the honorable opposition leader just talked just now. It'll destroy the future of this country. Because the young man and the future. When we talk of fifth salon, who don't for fifth salon? Now the young man. But I want we know say that all when we don't come in contact with, none of them know they were happy for seeing their body they deteriorate. None of them know they were happy for seeing their mama and papa they cry. So the first mistake where they make now for torture. But if we for end this fight, we must cut the supply chain. So Umar Fofana na the first time I will really get for look at. And that is why a gathering like this today, even with development partners, they're all there, everybody don't come together with one voice. We don't understand, so we must come together. We must take this fight all the way to the end. Regarding what we talk, yes, Kush not there around for some time. But the Honorable Vice President, if I really remember that last week Thursday, the Vice President, someone we always evolve, we always are leaders there, now with various ministries, departments there, where they deal with drug or where they deal with social issues there. The Vice President in the wisdom together, we all together. And just like what you talk, what the Vice President talked earlier when he opened this meeting, is that now, that the same way when we come together as a nation for fight Ebola, the same way we come together as a nation for fight COVID, that the same way again, we must all come together as a nation for eradicate Kush. So that I met me when I heard of NDLEA, this is like a happy moment for me. Because already you get what you call community partnership. That never there within the police as I give you the talk. Community partnership day. Even with the National Drug Law Enforcement, we get community there, we get community leaders there. Then the police get a very good organization called the Local Police Partnership Board. All the strong area they will not go, all the sensitization they will not go. No sign on the will not go without the Local Police Partnership Board.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I will say, if you will know what is like, so personally say, you don't get many courses in your life. You don't be soldier man, you don't be immigration chief, but you don't say publicly that no issue no as important to you as this particular issue. And I think it's very clear from the passion of the say. How about put us together one more time? Now, I can't follow respond to two important points that we will make. One, now the composition of Kush. I will say the Honorable Minister of Health, we will not conduct laboratory examination on Kush. I want to just clarify, waiting on a find out on the content very quickly, and then we'll go to IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. So first, I think Umar Blanket, there's a very good question he asked, very pertinent question and observation. We still need very solid data. I think once we need to avoid now rumors and speculations, we need to focus on data. So right now we're trying to collect the data, but something we don't see so far, we're not gross underestimate. For example, between 2020 and 2023, first we get about 222 cases that we will see in our hospital services in this country. By 2023, the number will go down up to 2,955, over 1,231% increase in that number estimate. Of the one that we are specifically Kush associated, that means 47 at 2020 and 1,865 by 2023. an increase of 3,868%. So even that not underestimate. So the problem is serious, the problem really big. At the same time, we need to be clear about the ingredients of the seed. So people can get opinion about what's inside the Kush. But the last not the lie. We collect sample and we go analyze the sample. We see say most of the ingredients that we see now, besides the basic synthetic Kush itself, then they cut down with a lot of common products within the pharmacy. Say tramadol, cocaine, epinephrine, morphine, amphetamines, methamphetamines, psychotic antidepressants, and benzodiazepine. So all this here is in our pharmacy. You get multiple use, you get regular use. So we're taking the try to do now for work with the pharmacy board for give close attention to then other products here so inside the pharmacy that we get normal use where people that they divert them and be a cut for the Kush drug. We will figure out a way for actively regulate them, for actively ensure say Uda neither nine get them, and we did measure the quantities where people didn't get, and I think an active part on the regulatory side for the pharmacy board.
Minister, you don't mention formalin.
So formalin, we actively search for formalin, like the sample that we will collect, none will get formalin inside.
Okay, so you
don't say formalin, we will look at subsequent samples and periodically, but the one that we will check, I call them mass spectrometry, mass spectrometry, not so me and you they talk. If they look for see waiting at the active ingredients, it will shoot and tell you what's in the inside. Yeah? The worst sample, the first batch of sample that we'll see, they don't get formalin inside. But we'll constantly be monitoring. Even then other ingredients here that they change, we roll now for tracker.
Okay.
Sure.
So this is now a big issue. Now put one together for the minister. This is now a very big issue as well on the pharmacy regulation that is concerned. I don't know something His Excellency care about. The VP said don't talk a lot about this issue. Now, salary in the capital might go to pharmacy, go order all kind of drug, no matter how dangerous the drug be. Any pharmacy, in fact, alone is a Friday and they sell all kind of drug. So, now part of the challenge they will get. But on more points about when I won't see any major patterns, whether we track patterns and how we track them and the IG.
Yeah, well, now I tell Mr. Fufana, I think in the first place, 2001, Leone, Director of Crime Services, and I tell you the first interception of Marshmallow Airport, the freight section. One man count 3 persons. If that can say that medication for example, now we have to charge for this one because it's not allowed for you to possess this one in our country. It's prohibited. So we charge them if you go to court for that one. After that, we see the focus shift to the maritime domain. So working together with our partners, we set up C-Corp, Sea Corporation Project, for short, C-Corp. C-Corp, a multi-agency entity. Within our Turkey, we get office space. We work with international partners for doing tip-off on interceptions. And from that point, we don't do several interceptions of marshmallow, acetone, precursor chemicals, other forms of that one. Now the key. So that is the infrastructure the government does set up for combat this drug trafficking and so on. Across the country, we get drug teams, drug raid teams, patrol teams, and the drug squad. We get one at Freetown East, we get one at Freetown West. Then every other regional commander, they under instruction for replicating the same infrastructure across the country. If you pay for that, you get your punitive measure. So we get data of all arrests who don't make over the past, for the whole of last year. Charge them good at court, and then dispose out the cases.
When I see any pattern,
well,
do we see like say, oh, now particularly people who like importers, people within the pharmaceutical, you know, you don't see any people who see.
The pattern is there. Like I say, the precursor chemicals were taken from manufacturing drugs there. Now, chemicals, for example, acetone, formalin. That one day we have the body, the pharmacy board, they get the regulatory function. Now then therefore certificate you for say yes, you are certified to import formalin or to import acetone into this country. So when we find them with those because of chemicals and they are not certified by pharmacy board to have them, they will charge you for the unlawful possession of a prohibited substance. Okay. So that's one. Then again, the other thing we don't have to make good is that government don't shift the focus from make a national task force. In our day, everybody can forget responsibility. The community leaders, the chief of level, civil society, everybody can forget on board. Now the vice president call end-to-end approach.
Thank you.
That infrastructure.
Thank you very much. I don't see Honorable Dixon, who just said this audience somewhere, and you have plenty video the way he gets where he go in village or in district. And engage in community and take some action there. Before we go there, I want to the two religious leaders they will get there. We get Sheikh there, we get Bishop, because this issue affects the moral compass of the country. Sheikh, these are the short section of this plan, but I want to follow you from Unayo. You know, all these commitments, all the words that will as a religious leader in the holy month of Ramadan, waiting a new message to the people of this country on this issue.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Vice President and all them big people here today, we tell Almighty Allah thank you. Today is not a day for preaching. From the Islamic perspective, the Quran and the Hadith with the tradition, they will provide very clear about what he called intoxicants. In other words, anything way by consumption, injection, rubbing, or whatever, will disturb the mind. So he called them intoxicants, the Quran called them work of the devil. We know say, nobody knows the way we associate with work of the devil. Therefore, the question we will ask, what do you make, then youth them when they use the Kush, why they want to associate with the devil? And that is the point I want to make. I think religious bodies, certainly for Islam, there is a strategic failure. That strategic failure.
Now put your hands together for that. Now put your hands together. Thank you.
If the book's so clear about intoxicants and how bad it is, waiting make we know the message such that they use the noble father, the devil. So I think we have to review how we pass messages on to we congregation then. It is very clear. For example, most of the time now firefighting with IPA. Somebody don't get problem, they say we're not going to talk to them. I think going forward, we the religious leaders them, we will rethink how we will not wait until the horses don't bolt, then we'll go begin look who's side for them. So this is the main problem we get in the religious sector.
Thank you very much. Now put your hands together for Sheikh. I just got to say the Sheikh actually like pharmacist as well. I trained pharmacist and a member of the profession. Man of God, you are Bishop. You don't hear from the Sheikh. What's like your contribution from the Christian perspective? Very briefly, sir.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Vice President, I'm big for stand on existing protocols. I want to line with the Bahanaya Sheikh, because as religious people, the scriptures also clear on the abuse and use of drugs. I think we are against them totally. And we, as religious people, and we don't be moral guarantors of this nation. We join hand in fighting the war. We join hand in fighting the Ebola. And anytime we call upon, because we know we get the largest constituency. And so they appeal to government because we concerned, deeply concerned. And so we appeal for let them bring on board so that we all work together as a team for fight this evil in the society. We don't already go ahead. Yesterday, the Honorable Minister of Social Welfare, we launched the 100-year celebration for Council of Churches in Sierra Leone. And I presented a paper on campaign of fight against Kush. And during that time, we make an appeal to government for law to declare this Kush issue as a national health emergency. So that will help us.
So we don't see plenty, thank you very much, Bishop. We don't see plenty of the contributions as well. They call for law to declare a national health emergency. Minister of Health, I want to take note of that. We compile that information then come forward. I want to come to black coffee because black coffee don't they deal with this issue. this man a blogger, and one of the people that will break this issue. Yesterday I sat down with you, you tell me about what do you believe, say, how Kush dey take place within the society and within the area. You don't listen to all the leaders that will come today. What do you don't take from this conversation so far, and what do you think say they miss?
So first thing first, Mr. Kaikai, right? Yeah. You say we the tackle the source, was it?
He said only for stop the supply.
But
from
how?
source.
How can we do that? How we for stop the supply? For what's the source? How? Yeah, but how? What kind of intelligence, sir? What kind of intelligence? Sir, I'm losing my generation. Okay, we are dying. I'm losing my generation. You're saying, yes, we don't need that for quite some time. We got the source. We all willing, we're getting all man already. But how can we do it? How?
Let me pass the question back to you.
Yes.
Now your generation,
yes.
You lose your generation.
Yes.
Part of the question again I asked today, I will not ask from the beginning.
Yes.
Waiting we for they do, where we know they do. You know, you all man not talk.
Yes.
What more do you want to see that we're not doing? This is why we're here.
Kush is not a positive thing. It's a very negative thing.
Okay.
If we want to tackle it, there's only one way. Use the enemy's mindset. We use the negative way. Two people that they sell cocaine in one street, then they sell the same thing. Fair way for when one person in the market.
So where in market will it well?
The sellers.
How will it go in the market?
Very simple. Create more awareness.
Okay.
Now we make people don't understand what's in the Kush. Most of the smoke don't even know what they're smoking. They don't. They have no idea. They are clueless. So if we want to make people that actually understand what's in the smoke and how it seems dangerous, we have to tackle these things.
Okay, so one major thing now, public education.
Yes.
We need for do a better job.
Yes.
And for point out, they don't like to really talk about since we don't get a lot of time. Now, how we will identify dealers in community? We don't talk a lot about this. People in our community in there, what are your ideas about this?
Okay. So for identify dealers, now we can't point fingers. We don't want to say things. But how people then they gain wealth in certain positions, less than 2 3 months, with no big businesses or big investments. How? How can you afford $150,000 car, $80,000 car with no big investment and nothing is being done? I'm pretty sure there is a team like.
So your recommendation on that now, what to follow on that particular point?
It's very easy. This is not about book education business. I'm not manifest. It's very simple.
Well, I'm not clap for black coffee. I'm not clap for black coffee. That's why we have him here. I come over to we activists in Aya. I want come first to the entertainment ambassador because on the okay, when I say cow, they never know say. I love clap for cow. The man ambassador. Cow. Part of this conversation, we don't hear not implicated in this. People will say entertainers, entertainment. Which you know so far, and which now you your role as entertainers.
Well, Mr. Minister, with all due respect, one popular reggae artist may sing one song where he said, be honest to yourself. I think this is the right term, it will be the thing. Sierra Leoneans will get for be honest to yourself. Self-evaluation. You see, the brother who just left the stage, he hit on the point. The Kush business is very lucrative. Greed, selfishness, that's not the problem. Yes, we can talk all this flavor foods, talk there, but if we not tackle that greed aspect, that money when they carry you brother that grave, the brother avoid that. That money will kill you sister, make you grace, avoid that. It's very tempting. I can tell you from experience, people that will tell you will build big mansion quick. You will drive the best car. Like me, I don't get approached. Oh, a ambassador, you're a diplomat. You go to do this, you do that. You know how many people that don't fall victim of that? So we want to directly talk to, because the addicts them now fans them. The drug peddlers them now fans them. I think say the government and the people of Sierra Leone can able to utilize the entertainment sector for pass on the sensitization process to all the Sierra Leoneans nationwide. We stand at, we're ready for serve the government and the people. My brother Famous Tenaya, we may just discuss about that.
Famous, we get one life. We are not use and find no.
Yes. Definitely there should be a sensitization approach. We can do it through screenplays, we can do it through music. I personally did a song like 4 months ago. I called the song Poison. I was actually rapping like I am the Kush myself.
You want to give me one a cappella of the song?
Well, I will save up for the next time, this time.
Alright. Well, I just want to say before you go that already, like I say, for what we to last, you know, the Minister of Information, they work very closely with you on this Salon Big Pass World campaign. We don't bring you and the legend together. We'll also invite Mokaya today as well. So I think you're right that so if you get there, you must have been famous. What you get? Yeah, famous. Right now, I think I can say you are the #1. At least now you are the most. Now you song and the top song and the country.
Thank you.
And they asked me for like you small cappella or small number. Well, I want you to talk to the fans there and why this issue is important to you. I must say, I really already sent formal invites to him. He said we do this event. He did there, he talked to somebody. He said, Mr. Minister, count on me. I want for Kang because I want to add my voice to the platform for this as well. So I just want you to share very briefly why this issue is important to you.
Well, first of all, I'm glad for there today. I don't want to let people feel just like I have control for my show. When they have the 20th. No. I just want to follow away so the 20 and the car back into money. Shout out to Cardinero, your ambassador of entertainment. He just talks some positive things there, you know. I know say after a year they get for organize we for sing. But trust me, sometimes when they can call me for sing certain music like Kush or Drugs, I can get emotional. Because not to just sing about the music we want. Even if you sing the music, then go dance and then smoke the Kush back. Now to be honest, they dance and then slowly they smoke them back. You know? Me, I get the example. My sister in Peking smoke Kush. They be in a house to me. And maybe they take care of them, but you know they travel up and down. I left them for sit exam, put on lesson. Before they come back, they push on to Nubara. Seriously, now me know how I feel. Now me know as they go to my sister some nights and they see how they cry. Now me know how the Kush damage my sister in Peking. So me, it's not about me for Timapia for say, Mr. Minister, Vice President, so I put budget together for me, for sing, but Kush, no, it's not about the budget. I go sing free, for no money, we go sing free.
You know, say I can take out on that, right?
Yes, we will sing free. Now I will talk and bang.
Thank you.
And after this mission where you have been April 20, now been to money in the car park. Listen.
Okay, give me brief acapella and then I go down and go talk to people. Give me brief acapella and then people just.
You get one life only. Me self get one life only. Why we no use and gladdy and enjoy the time. I never know they finish. Time you know they wait nobody. Me use them time they wait nobody. Stop Kush.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I want to come to you, sir. And also, you are a civil society leader on this issue. You don't work on this issue for so long. You don't listen to we allege that I have plenty. What's your contribution briefly?
Thank you very much.
Introduce yourself, sorry.
Yeah, I'm Anthony H. Lincoln, work on civil society. I'm the executive director for his radio. This issue of Kush, nothing way in at the heart of the civil society. Of course, we will not say the civil society, we are a bridge between the people and the government. We always take the concern of the people to the government and also bring the concern of government to the people. This issue of Kush, we don't do a lot of engagement for now. Even I remember some time back when we get the meeting at State House with the Chief Minister, with our beginner. We don't do a lot of engagement. But honestly, today, I feel fulfilled on behalf of civil society. And now when I also say government is not really ready for this push as civil society, and now don't see as the government already, they don't tie a contract. And I'm so happy.
What do you want the government do what they do right now? Number one.
Yes, the different stakeholders that I mentioned around them strengthening the entry points there. Of course, public engagement is really key. We need to engage people there, and at that civil society, we always what they do. We want to ensure the government is for strengthening public engagement and also ensure that those who they bring, then Kush here, they bring them to home, and those sacred cow. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll clap for civil society. Now we can go now with the microphone. Wait, I get plan. Oh wait. 1 second, please. I want for council with development partner. I also want to just say Dr. Ibrahim Kamara there with the representative of WHO, thank you. I'll start with the American ambassador. This conversation, not to win no more gets out. This conversation, we have to have this conversation together. By your presence here and your commitment to this issue, all of you, I think you have shown that you want to work with us to solve this problem. And you want to get you up here, so I'm coming down to you and I'm putting you all on the spot. Very briefly. You've had a lot of things here. What do you have to say to us on this matter? And how?
Integrated strategy to work against Kush. So I start with the idea. Secondly, education is key. I've heard the passion behind the young people who are saying, we're losing our generation. That's a real issue. What we do know is Kush is deadly. Kush is dangerous. We all need to be doing more to educate people about that basic fact. Third, I've heard a lot of people advance, let's do this, let's do that, let's focus on this one area. There are no silver bullets in the war against drugs. We've been at it since the 1970s in the United States. We've had our victories against opioids and fentanyl. We've had our losses against crack cocaine. These are issues that require a long-term integrated strategy. And that's why from the development partners, we're not looking for a simple solution here. We're looking for a long-term integrated strategy that helps, yes, to address the mental issues that are afflicting Sierra Leone's youth, the sense of hopelessness, the sense of despair. We're looking to increase the capacity of law enforcement to deal with those complicated investigations. We're looking to help the Ministry of Health answer those very basic things about what's in this drug, where is it coming from. So I think we need to look at this as a long-term fight, not something that's going to go away in the next year or 2 years or even in the tenure of this government, but we need to be committed to that long struggle.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Brian Hunt from the US. I want to come to Nadia. Nadia, you are the acting resident coordinator of the United Nations in Sierra Leone. You're also the representative for UNFPA. So I want to come to you. Now UNFPA, of course, cares about young people. You're a partner of us as well on this event. What have you had today and what is the commitment of the United Nations family to this conversation?
Thank you, and let me begin by congratulating the Ministry of Information and Civic Education on convening this very, very important dialogue. It is absolutely critical that we have dialogues like this one. We know that the drug epidemic is a complex issue and it's a devastating issue, devastating to individuals, to families, and to communities. It's robbing young people of their health, of their well-being, of their lives. It's robbing societies of the potential and contributions of these young people. It is generating violence, poverty, and inequality, and it is threatening the nation's development. So this is an incredibly serious issue, and I'm so pleased that this conversation is happening and that there are many, many people who are also joining online to give their perspectives on what needs to happen to create change. I'd like to focus on 3 issues that really pick up on much of what has been discussed so far. Firstly, it's critical to have a comprehensive response. That involves all of government and all of society, because this is a complex issue that addresses the root causes. It needs to be a response that supports prevention, treatment, rehabilitation, and it needs to be a response that upholds law enforcement. Empowering young people and young people's leadership in this fight is critical. It is young people that have to lead the way, and we need to support them with information, with education, with awareness raising to ensure that they have the tools to make healthy choices and that they are able to resist the peer pressure that is coming to use drugs. And we saw the issue of peer pressure being raised so often in the online chat. Secondly, I join colleagues who are appealing for strong community mobilization. We need community mobilization to ensure that we're raising awareness and that we're establishing supportive peer networks to address prevention and to address rehabilitation. And the third point I'd like to echo, again, data is critical. We need data and research to really help us to understand better the drivers, the trends, the impacts, and that is critical to informing our policies and programs. So I'll just conclude by saying, on behalf of the United Nations Country Team, we are committed to supporting the nation in this response. Please do count on us. We are strongly advocating for and welcome the attention that the government is giving to this as a priority, cross-cutting issue. But we need to ensure that we are consistently working with a compassionate response, a human rights-based response that puts people at the center. And we are really encouraged that this is the approach that's being taken. So we strongly believe that working together, we are hopeful that we can bring an end to this epidemic and this crisis.
Thank you so much, Nadia. On behalf of the United Nations family, thank you to we have the EU ambassador here, we have WHO here, we have IOM here, we have UNDP here, all there to show their commitment and their support. WHO support of this event. UNDP has always been with us. When it comes to youth issues in this country, this gentleman has a personal commitment as well as an institutional commitment. We want to thank you for your support. I know we have 20 minutes. I'm not going to start at the time or keep to the time. I want us to be out of here in 20 minutes. This is a month of Ramadan. All my annual goal. I'm going to do a quick fire round of about 10 minutes and give people a 1 minute for talk. And when I say 1 minute, I'm going to keep it to 1 minute. And I want for I'll come back to him. 1 minute. So I want to see hands up. If you get something to say, but I want for you to keep the intervention though. Don't you hear lots now, we know the problem there, all that. I want for you to keep the intervention. Thank you. I want for you to keep the intervention. So what do you want for see? Let government do what you know you don't talk with it. What do you know you need? So I want to start with the leader of the traditional leaders and free talk. But at 1 minute, I keep the time. dear Papa, can I help me Lord on here on time? Please. So 1 minute and then we'll do some quick fire round. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Information. This now a very big and good thing what you don't do for me to fight for the future of this country. Without saving the young one, we are not saving the future of this country. But the composition of the high table, definitely we not going to win this fight if the traditional leaders are left out. And I'm sure when I don't call the imam, when I don't call the bishop, I would applaud our chairman, the National Council of Primary Chief Chairman is here. Make necessary for government a statement and take a commitment and take the ownership of this fight. And until we, the traditional people, take the ownership of this fight, like how we be taken during the time of Ebola and even the COVID, it will be very hard to fight because that a fight where we all just therefore join together. Because Kush, not a thing where they grow in this country. Now important is important. And I want to commend the IG that at one time they do a very proactive measure the way that we go seize the machine whether they manufacture. Because that will not just think for this, so now important. There is that machine in this country where they manufacture the goods in this country. So until we bring everybody on board.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to give the microphone to Chief Fasulu Kuwede, please.
Okay.
Let me make a brief intervention.
All right.
Thank you. And Chief, I want to apologize. We actually will get you the program. If you look at the flyer, we get 6 years for you at this level. You can, may not be knowing personally, I apologize. But you are very important. We respect tonight. Without tonight, we will be respect. So please go ahead, take your 1 minute.
Minister, apology granted.
Thank you.
And I only know say good player, not a fit for best. The intervention will be very short. Fortunately, we have been paramount chief for Ebola camp. We have been paramount chief for COVID camp. On behalf of myself and the tribal SA where they be now, I can assure you so we can go back to the drawing table. While we all roll, have cut the supply source of the Kush. We're already inside Salon. Another vow say we even cut the supply source outside Sierra Leone. So let everybody play your role. Where Kush don't come up from 5,000 to 10,000. We will continue for make the balance within the country laid done. We not ensure anyone or can the country do.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Chief, for waiting to the time. Now I come middle here. The Deputy Minister of Education, Basic and Senior Secondary Education, I see a hand there up, and this year affects school making them. Honorable Minister, you get 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much. This thing, it affects them picking them so much at the school system, where they spill over at the college system. We recommend say guidance counseling we for one, and we for also strengthen the out of school for bring them calm, so that we will able for reintegrate them, put them at the different school system where they will able for learn them back and let them stop the discouragement. Then we want for strengthening the civic education at the school system. It's very, very important so that we know the values. And also we see the religious leaders, the religious moral education, so that the beginning will learn ethics of the way, how they will be able to live. But before I close, I want to do let me go check the cemeteries there. And the one them where they take care of the cemeteries there. That one them there, now the bones there, then they remove, then they dry them, and then they use them because the Kush, in order to work effectively so much now, except they use them bones a day of the diamond for the
Honorable Deputy Minister, thank you very much. The incessantly. This is a man we ask for like 1 minute, but we try. 1 minute to the right honorable Africa. Go on, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. I'm glad for me you call this national town hall meeting. The issues we are going to discuss now, they're all very relevant and they're all able to help or push the threat against Kush let it go before. But you see, people in the program, they say, when rain dey come, you go take the umbrella and go to the cover. You know, we say, pass you go make umbrella again, you go soak. Me, I'm the Minister of Information during the time of the Ebola. Me, I'm the social mobilization strategist during the time of Corona. I know see the structure of narcotic distribution. And all of what we have been discussing here, individually, they're all there under the strategy of eradicating epidemics and pandemics. We don't do a successful fight against COVID, for which the government and the president, they're present at the world. Why do we not go back to the drawing board like how the chief said? Why do we not go back to the drawing board like how the UN representative may ask? Why do we not go to the drawing board? Like waiting Umaru for financing. And waiting the vice presidency also. I think the structure for fairness is there. And the leadership must come from the highest office. The president, now him for being the convener of this following board.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Honorable Dixie Rogers, I want to give you a minute. Follow share your story as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister.
I know we will call all men at the same time. Just be patient.
I want to tell you, thank you. You need me 1 minute. I want to tell you thank you for this kind of meeting the way you don't call. But I want to let you imagine if you call this kind of meeting Abu, Kenema, Makini, regional headquarters, the fruits where you go yield. Now let just give me experience. Like where Omar Fofana been talk and I see the ambassador of years talk. This thing, community involvement, Mr. Minister. We need to involve every community. After we met in our parliament last week, I was training at the constituency. I called all the chiefs, all the youth leaders, the LUC when they put on, and the OC 14 battalion. Now we get a very successful meeting. Immediately after the leader meeting, and we video, I will send her out. I think the vice president, I now put her on spotlight. He called me, he said, what you going to do for support you? He sent for me 4 bikes, 4 brand new bikes, slicing. Now then bikes that we use the day after the meeting, we arrest 4. We arrest 4 suppliers in that very community. I snap them, I send her to you, I send her to the IG. The next day, I send 2 bikes. Because what I do, I make a task force of 15 young men and women. And now they go to the communities and they make the arrest. And just yesterday, we get a woman and they arrest, they make another arrest, I snap back and send them. But the disappointment, I get 2 disappointments, Mr. Minister.
Yeah.
I wish the age here.
You 1 minute on though, but I'll give 10 more seconds. So it's quick.
I wish the age be there. Because he was not telling us the truth. What's happened? The people that wear the IG, I want to have big when I come for the IG. Because it's so respect. Anytime they big and they take action. The people that will arrest, unfortunately, the other way they don't take them. In police, they send them for check them. Because if you instruction for let them send them go, they don't send them go, they check them at Pujo. And the only reason why they do the check at Pujo, Mr. H. do a then agent say, oh, they arrest, why see them? Because then they go revert back, the very policeman then and they think I go sell back at the market.
Honorable, yeah.
So
Honorable, yeah, I mean, I will stop there for now. This conversation will continue. Okay, we're not going to talk about it tonight.
Thank you very much.
They just don't say this in a man and a man. So before you talk, I want to let the woman talk first. Auntie Maggie, yeah, the microphone first. So
thank you very much.
Intervention. In fact, I want to let the beginning talk second. In fact, more than it's okay.
Thank you very much for bringing us all here. For going to bring you all here today. It is long overdue. if we all be total road for campaign for a political party then, wetin make we no go total road for go campaign against Kush? I want for Mr. Government representatives then here. Una take note of that one day. We are all over Sierra Leone campaigning. We begin and they die. Me nephew then they take Kush and not get way for help them. So when we did here, it is so much disheartening. Now a passion for me, for let me drive this menace. Government, for Kiwi, the community people then, for empower the community. Because most of the time, me, I don't call several police them, severally, nothing. They don't do nothing, they don't come. And they say, nah, the police them and the Kush people then they walk. So you go to IG. IG, you are aware, say, the police them, they work with the people that where they sell Kush. And if you are aware, what thing you don't do as IG. Thank you
very much. That's IG. Go ahead, Saul.
Good afternoon to all. In the first place, Mr. Minister, I want to tell you plenty thank you for this gathering. And I know say that your background make you the hook so. In a civil society, you don't loan to the government of Sierra Leone. You have to bring you back to civil society. I first of all want to say that the fight against Kush is a collective effort. And I want to make this gathering know say some of you don't take this fight for almost 2 years. And the key statement we know they make until 2 weeks ago, all newspapers, majority are still the same and today back in the same. The president will take the lead on this fight against the Kush. The president has to take the lead.
So, Unawa, directly from the president.
Yes.
In your spokesman said don't say the same thing just now.
Yes. Two, it has to be community-led.
Okay.
Community-led. And I want to say thank you to the Inspector General of Police for what you don't see for the past 2 weeks.
You want me to
and the head of the National Drugs Enforcement Agency. What you don't see, they do want to say good news.
Thank you.
But it has to be community-led. Thank you, sir.
The registrar of the pharmacy board. Una dey play a big role in this, Mr. Registrar.
Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. You know, I'm glad for the part of this debate today. Today I see people that want to use as I wish for not getting the manufacturers and the importers as well.
Can you represent them? Because they say that pharmaceutical products are doing that.
The first time I tried importing the product they use for the Kushona marshmallow was in 2021 November. When we tested it, we realized that it contained 4 abortions. It contained 10 milligram manual. They also get sinophenine, which are something for asthma. This gets oxidative effect. When we tell our minister, we straight up, they say we have a problem in this country. And say one thing, this product no can respond to where you don't get wings, you don't get legs. They must be coming to the official post of entry. They say make your president to be fair there. That was how we increased the manpower at Wataki and Luge, and I'm sure they have a series of arrests. The other thing they tell me, they say we need to know the composition of this particular push. That was how he encouraged us to go all out to this town. We pick samples all over from Godwich up to Gui. We can't test them. But one thing we realize, the various schools that we get, the test should be different. So now we can understand, say, what we get as marshmallow is different from this. So what it did was, we went ahead for pick other samples that we know about what we don't do. We look for cocoa leaf, we look for banana leaf, we look for kumijara. And when we tested the composition of the same thing inside it. When we tested for formalin, we realized that the formalin, either the quantity is small, it will not be inside. So our fear is we can't know say that they use himabo. So what if they feel that probably himabo when they use, the formalin when they use for the himabo, and they sip into the bone marrow. Or not to stand in that, every
much. I want to ask the head of IOM Masalo. Last week, we had we go welcome returnees to the country. And for you at IOM, one of the things you're working with us in government is how to make sure those who come back don't get trapped in the drug crisis. Can you say what you're doing specifically, very briefly, on this issue?
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We as IOM, we signed last year an MOU with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. So, as you correctly pointed out, every return comes back in the framework of our voluntary return programs goes through an in-depth awareness-raising session with or facilitated by the MDLA experts. So this is one humble contribution from IOM side towards the response to Kush. Thank you.
Thank you so much, IOM. Now, all my talk, and also we get even more questions, we don't get questions. I want to apologize. I'm not going to allow everybody for ask questions, all my for talk. We get the platform, we don't let people use for ask the questions to the collator, we pass them on to the Honorable, to His Excellency the President, to all the ministers in the Leone. We not go able now for that pass the mic to everybody, so I really did. Waiting clear that people want to talk about this issue. Waiting clear from today that people are going to put ideas about how we will solve this problem. Unfortunately, we're not going to get all the time for do that. But before we go, I want to give a couple of last words for get a final time there as we wrap up. I want to give a couple of last words. I want to come back up to the panel. But before they come up, I want to give one last word to you, Fred, when our UNDP partner, because you're a partner on this and a development issue. So I want to give Fred the microphone. If you don't tell me today, no one talk, but I want to give a chance for let wrap us up as we wrap up. And then I can't tell you. Yes, so give the UNDP chief just some wrap-up thoughts for us on what you're taking away from this.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for putting together this very, very important program. Two or three things I want to say. One, it is clear from all the conversation this afternoon that Kush is a national epidemic, and we have to respond to it as such, using all the structures and then going down to the communities to mobilize social mobilization to address it. Two, that the supply, we have to understand what we're dealing with. The composition of the drug, the manufacturing of it, the supply chain, and how to cut it. Three, from a development standpoint, what are the things that are driving our young people to take Kush? The livelihood issues, the issues of hopelessness. How do we build the future of these young people in a way that they will aspire and not go for something that will give them an illusion of happiness for a short term gain? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I like your wise words on always. Thank you so much, Fred. As we close, I want to come back to the minister over there and the IG. IG, what's your last word to people? Are they going at 30 seconds? Last words.
Well, for me, this particular occasion, I'm eye-opener to all. You know, follow we organize the perception about Kush and the war against Kush. I for continue to encourage members of the community for providing information to the police. They will not support you in the most recent times. We don't make huge gains. That supported the leader. So I look to continue working relationship between everybody in the fight against this menace in our society. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Minister, last word.
Community ownership and the fight against Kush is really key. No matter how much we do, parents have to take responsibility of them picking them. We say as young people have to take responsibility of ourselves. As governments will put hands together, a lot of water for 30 feet. You say for the take out for ready for left hand.
Thank you, Minister. Madam Minister, last word.
Yes, thank you very much. I think this conversation today is very helpful because the fight against push now, everybody is involved, so at least we'll cut that chain link. The Ministry of Social Welfare Sefno will get the burden for the rehab center because as it is now, a lot of people waiting for enter at the rehab center. And the first batch, they come up very soon and we will try for link up with all the partners there, including Ministry of Higher and Technical Education, when they get for do placement, and the Ministry of Youth. So right now, we also get a batch where they wait for enter. We don't do the profiling, and the first batch will get for left very soon. We don't done their own business. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, last word, briefly.
Thank you very much. The last word I want to explain and say the future of Sierra Leone is under attack. And we want everybody, not waiting for it. The future of this nation is under attack. Let we all come on board to fight this deadly disease, this menace.
It's a deadly disease, yeah.
So let we all come on board, not wait till they call you, not say I will keep me corner until they call me. The future of this nation is under attack.
Thank you so much. Minister of Health.
I just want to say thank you to you and your team for organizing this important meeting as well. The message and a message of hope. You know, we don't get very, very deadly situation in this country where when we come together, we're able to overcome it. So even as bleak as this be, our Lord will maintain our resilience as a nation for able to solve this. This gets two parts. One part, prevention. The other part is cure and care. So if we combine the prevention side and we care for the people that we are victims of this, we will bring this under control. And this is not public issue, public health issue. The public is nearly as important as all of the other service providers.
Thank you so much, Minister. Mr. Kaikai, bring me down with your passion, finally.
Simba, thank you very much. I really appreciate you for creating this platform for getting national conversation this afternoon. I really applaud you, Kakaskata, and the entire ministry. And the entire ministry.
The nickname of the Honorable Deputy Minister.
Then also, I'm very hopeful, Mr. Sidosho. Right now, I'm on fire. Because I know, say, especially now with the news, when the Vice President now, with the setting up of this national task force for put together the infrastructure, the architecture, so that we will take this fight. Then you when they allow people then for snow before you host, you compound or you veranda, they know all the when they come after everybody, they come after one.
No hiding place.
Thank you.
I want to ask my respectful Lord Timap, I want to recite the national pledge as we bring the curtain down. I want to take this opportunity for thank you to development partners, then particularly UNFPA, WHO, UNDP, as well as with private sector partner UBA, when they come together for support for put this town hall together. While I there, even the Vice President don't come to me and say, we need to do this all over the country. We need to do this. I think we all don't see that people get appetite for this conversation. And inshallah, we will work with you now all again with there, follow we continue. This conversation is important. We get the presidential spokesperson in there. It's a talk from the Honorable Vice President. We all welcome and also we all get plenty for say. You leaders that come from all over the country. I want to apologize for giving all chance for talk. I really apologize. A big sorry for we. We will try next time for to get more and more people in for talk. But I tell you, when I use the platform, I assure you we combine that information and take it forward. Before we go, I want to all together recite the Salone National Pledge. After 2 counts, we start. 1, 2, go. I pledge my love and loyalty to my country, Sierra Leone. I vow to serve her faithfully at all times. I promise to defend her honor and good name. Always work for her unity, peace, freedom, and prosperity, and put her interest above all else. So help me God. So help me Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a wonderful evening and inshallah we'll soon again very soon. Thank you.
Yes. How are you?